So hey guys, I wanted to do a work in progress review of a couple of stories that you can find on Patreon if you, become Patreons, if you will, if you patronize for these people. But you can also see like sneak previews of them, if you will, and then eventually probably full-on releases down the line on places like DeviantArt, Echo's Portal, and places like Gumroad maybe or wherever. But several of them I want to talk about are, really interesting. They do deal with identical, tropes and all that. The first one has been going on for about almost, from what I can tell, it's been going up for about 480 pages right now. 480 pages. This is really, really long. It's called Nano-Shift. And it basically focuses on a girl character named Jay, who basically has her body transformed by nanobots. So now her body is no longer flesh and blood; it's comprised of nanobots. That's basically, I guess, in a way, making her nearly immortal or something. I'm not really sure, or unkillable. I don't really know. But it's a really intriguing story because it's gotten to a point where Jovan16, that's the person behind this, that is the Jovan16, Jovan16, that's what it is, Jovan, or Jovine, if you will. Like I said, Jovan16. Basically it's gotten, like I said, it's a really intriguing story. And it's gotten to a point now where the nanobots have basically merged completely with Jay. I mean, Jay was like, she was thrilled with the ability to become anyone she wanted. Just think about it, and she becomes that person. So what happened basically is in one of the chapters, she's disguised herself as a more kind of seductive wise. And basically being in this new disguise, this new body, she gets kind of in the mood a little bit. She's at home, she wants to relax. And one of the ways to want to relax in this new body is get in the mood. But she wishes she could share it with somebody. And what happens is the nanobots basically reply to that, and they create basically a doppelganger who basically helps her learn about her abilities. Basically, it takes on a life of its own, in its own kind of arousing, aggressive kind of way, convinces her to, embrace her new abilities. And they do get intimate, believe it or not. They do get intimate, and it's through this intimacy that they end up kind of like in this limbo, kind of cyberspace-like world where the entity, the doppelganger, basically lets her know about what she's capable of doing. And then basically, at the end of them being in this loophole, or being in this limbo, or this cyberspace, if you will, basically lets her know in a very aggressive way that, hey, you aren't going to get rid of me that easily or anything like that. You're going to embrace this, and I'm going to help you whether you like it or not. And that's basically what occurs. Jay basically then appears back in her room, but she doesn't. And the way it happens is, Jay, like I said, she goes through limbo. She appears back in her room, or goes through cyberspace, limbo, whatever you want to call it. Appears back in her room. And what happens is she falls from the ceiling, but she doesn't fall and just hit the floor and kind of bruise herself or anything. No, because she's now made of nanites. She hits the floor. And she hits it with a splat, or with a sploosh, if you will, or splash, sploosh, whatever you want to call it. And basically, she liquefies. She basically falls onto the floor. She's a full human self, but when she falls and hits the floor, she splatters into a liquid puddle. Basically, basically into a liquid puddle, which she does reshape from. And it's through this that she kind of starts to embrace exactly what her doppelganger was telling her about. That this, look what you're able to do. Look what you'll be able to create. And thus Jay takes on this cyberpunk, I guess you could say, disguise that she took on previously before going home and having that time and that learning experience and all that. And she decides, hey, this is kind of interesting, because what the nanobots through the doppelganger basically did is they showed her that she's capable of not just becoming anybody else, but she's capable of becoming anything. Like, it's not just, like, basically now her abilities, her powers are not just limited they're not just limited to, becoming different people, coming up with different disguises, but she can become anything. She can become anything she wants. It doesn't have to be human. So she decides she's going to go show this to her friends, and the way she does it is she discovers that not only can she still, have her disguise, her cyberpunk-like disguise, but she can also create it from something she can become. Like in this case, as she's traveling to tell her friends, or show her friends, she uses the nanobots to turn herself into a sleek motorcycle, futuristic motorcycle, and then from the top of the motorcycle, she's able to rebuild her human body. Anyway, long story short, the most recent chapter has her meeting up with her friends, going to one of her friends' apartments, and showing her friends what she's capable of doing, and it ends with her not only liquefying into a puddle of goop, but then engulfing, if you will, kind of enveloping her friend, Chrissy. I think that's her name, Chrissy. She envelops her completely and basically shows what she's capable of doing. And what she's capable of doing is she becomes a disguise for Chrissy. She turns Chrissy into a different person. Basically ensures us that, hey, you're still you underneath, but on the outside you look completely different. And she further shows that she further shows that she's capable of doing this by not only giving her a regular disguise, but also enhancing certain features, as well as changing her voice up so that no one will recognize that it's Chrissy it's Chrissy in the disguise. They'll think basically like it's somebody else. So that's where they are right now. And it's gotten to a point basically to where it looks like they've been detected by an outside source. But if what Jovan 16 is doing here is what I think they're going to do, I think what's going to happen is Jay will be alerted by this, and she'll basically envelop both Chrissy and the girl. I can't think of her name right now. I think it's Noid or not Noid. Or Nadi. I think it's Nadi. And I think what's going to happen, just my predictions on it, the way, Jovan 16 is setting this up is, Jay will probably sense what's going to happen, sense some danger coming. She'll engulf basically both of them inside of her. She'll envelop both of them again and liquefy them both into a combined puddle with her and slither, out of there as quickly as they can, undetected, if you will. That's just my guess. Just my guess. I'm not saying it's going to happen. They might have some intimate fun before that, but I'm just saying that's possible. Now, another story they've been working on is called Brianna's Secret Life, and it's just basically about a character called Brianna who has the shape-shifting abilities to become anyone she wants. Nothing inanimate yet, nothing slime-like yet or anything like that. I think they're building to that. I think Jovan 16 is building to that with this story. But Brianna's Secret Lives is right now just focused on this girl changing herself into different people, muscular people, different women, I should say, muscular women, seductive women, all that. And it looks interesting, but like I said, they haven't got to the, the inanimate transformation or the, like slime-like liquefied transformation. They haven't got to that yet, but I think that's what they're building towards. I think that's what they're building towards. Another person that you should check out is TROUBLETRO. And they have a couple of stories they've been working on. One, I think they completed recently. Like I said, TROUBLETRO has a couple of stories they're working on. One, they just completed the 15th chapter on, or sector on, and that is called Pink Benefits. Basically, it's about two girls that have basically similar powers, but one is a little more enhanced in the abilities to the point that she's gotten into the slime liquefaction, portion of it, to where she can become different things. And it looks like they're building towards that with her, with the ending, the most recent chapter to it. The other one he's working on is Anything You Want, Part 2. He's at Part 3 of it. It's called Anything You Want 2, actually, is at Part 3. And I can almost tell, just like with Jovan 16, that he's going to get to a portion of it where he's going to turn the girl that has the ability to become anything she wants, or anybody right now, and he's going to start getting her into that, portion of transformation where she can become anything, like inanimate or whatever, liquefaction, stuff like that. I think he's building towards that with Anything You Want too. He's at the third part of it. And like I was saying, he also has another story he just completed, or at least is on the verge of completing. It is called, if I can find it here, I think he has it, because he's working on it's called Agent Ping Bedlam's Revenge. And it basically is a crossover between the Agent Ping character of Trouble TROs and Mr. Internet Man's Demonica character. And like I said, the last part was part 12, so I don't know. I think he's got a part 3 coming, if you will, because he doesn't... he actually has it all here, but I don't know if he's got part 13 in there or not. But yeah, he's working on that, and it looks like we're going to get Demonica showing up in the next part, if not in the part that is part of the package, because one of the things that they do when you subscribe to them is, or Patreon, or pledge to them in the Patreon, is they, depending on the amount, is you will get basically a package worth, a PDF file worth of everything they've worked on, for that moment, for that quarter. Depending, for example, if you want everything from the pink benefits to the one-offs and the Agent Pink and Anything You Want, basically those are under the $10 tier. Anyway, yeah, he's gotten to that point. He's working on that, and again, that's gotten to a point to where it looks like Demonica will show up very soon in the next part, and that'll be great to see. And we might even get some intimacy between Pink and Demonica when it's all said and done, which could give us some liquefaction. Who knows? We'll see. Liquefaction, slime, girl stuff. Who knows? But anyway, though, yeah, those are just some of the stories on that I would recommend you guys checking out. If you're a part of Patreon and you want to pledge to some people for some interesting stories and everything, I would check those out. And each of them, believe it or not, are done in SFW. I think that's what it's called, SFW animation or something like that. CGI SFW imagery, which is pretty cool. Kind of shows you how far things are coming with artists, or how far artists will go when artistically with software. When it comes to wanting to make those stories a reality, or more realistic, or more like on an animation level. I mean, Trouble TRO has even done a few animations. So has Jovan 16 has done some animations with their characters to kind of get an idea of what they will look like in, fluid animation form, CGI, SFM, SFW, if you will. And so on. But I thought I should suggest to those you guys, and just let you know they're all interesting. I mean, again, basically, and that's just my dog. She's just scratching a little bit. Got to give her a bath tomorrow. But anyway, some of the stories are interesting, like the Anything You Want story. The second part of it, the sequel. So first is basically a girl, wishes she could be, more than what she is, and then she gets this mysterious file, and, I wouldn't say file, but she gets this mysterious deposit into her account that allows her to, I guess have more money than she expected. And it also allows her the power. It grants her the power to basically turn into anybody she wants. And like I said, I think it's getting to that point now to where we might, because she's able to become anybody she wants, any other girl, any other woman. But now it's getting to a point that I think we're going to start seeing inanimate transformations and liquid shifting transformations, meltings, and all that within the story very soon. And I was also told, and also found out that Pink Benefits is where we'll probably get more of that as well in the future, especially based off what we saw at the end of the last chapter. And then, like I said, Agent Pink Bedlam's revenge. Obviously, is going to conclude with Demonica showing up, and we might get some moments there between the two characters, very intimate as well. But yeah, those stories are really good. So yeah, I just thought I'd let you know about those stories, how they are, and if you're interested in them. And they're still currently in progress. And like I say, if you want to support them, go ahead. Check them out at Patreon. It's TROUBLETRO. You can find at Patreon, as well as Jovin. It's JOVIAN 16. On Patreon, if you want to pledge to them to check out those stories. And again, eventually down the line, you will see them probably show up on DeviantArt and other places as well as time goes on. Again, I do apologize for for that in the background. That's my dog. She wants out. I'm going to let her out in a moment. She seems to come in when my mom opens the door and wants to ask me something and stuff, and then she wants back out, that being our dog. So I'll let her out in a moment. But anyway, don't worry, she's fine and everything. She just does that. I don't know why. But anyway, again, just wanted to suggest those to you guys, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Comment if you like. Let me know what your thoughts on the live chat down below. Let me know if you've seen these stories. Have you read them? What are your thoughts on them overall? And I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care. I gotta let my dog out now, and that's about it. Again, check them out. That's Pink Benefits by Turbo. That's Pink Benefits. Anything you want, and Agent Pink Bedlam's Revenge on TROUBLETRO. And he, as of right now, that are currently in work in progress, that are actually pretty good. Check them out. And then on Jovin 16, you have Nano-Shift, currently at 480 pages, or images, comic strips, if you will. And you have Brianna's Secret Lives as well, which is currently in its next chapter as we speak. So, yeah, again, check them out. I think you'll enjoy them. They're pretty good. They can be funny at times, but you can definitely tell there's a story there that, there's a story there that's ready to just, be let loose. So, yeah, just let you guys know about those, and check them out if you want. Again, I do apologize for my dog in the background. Like I said, she comes in when the door gets opened by my mom asking me a question, and then she gets stuck in here, and then she wants back out. You know how animals are, dogs are, that if you own some, that you know how they are, especially the small to medium-sized dogs. Like I said, she's fine and everything. She just does that. But again, just to let you know, and comment down below, let you know about these stories. Comment down below, live chat. Let me know what your thoughts are on the live chat during the premiere, and I'll talk to y'all later.